And welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the last and final show of the year for the NFC East Clashing Conferences podcast here. We got the OGs with us. We got Randy representing the Cowboys. We got Paul representing the Redskin Commanders. And once again, and no longer champion, we got Greg representing the Philadelphia Eagles with a new champion crowned just a couple days ago. We had the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl over the New England Patriots. Sorry, Ben from the network here, but it was a 29-13 score and a very unexciting game for most of it, I think. We had looking like the field goal kicker might be MVP for a while there. I wasn't sure what the odds were on that, but it would have probably been a big payout if he had gone a little bit further than he did. But that's what we had in the game. In our internal competition, we finished up with Paul winning the internal pick'em competition in the confidence pool with 83 points. Me just behind him at 74. I went for it all. Took New England to try to catch Paul, even though I didn't think New England was going to win. I was just trying to win the competition. It didn't work out for me. We had Randy at 66, Greg at 58.
Jesus, Greg, did you get any of them right?
No, not really. Well, I got a couple right. I got 58 points.
You got the same confidence level. You got the same confidence level of every Philly fan in every sport, every one of the four sports every year.
Nah, he would have got 99 if that was the case. Their confidence level was always around 99 or 100.
No, it was confidence level relative to reality is what I meant.
Okay. You should say competence level. Competence.
Ooh. Look, you need to stop.
The Eagles didn't play this weekend, so you can't beat up on Greg too bad. None of our team played this weekend.
I can't beat up on Greg.
Anything to brag about right now, at least until next year. What'd you guys think about the big game?
Before you got on, I kind of told Randy and Kyle what I thought of it, but it was very underwhelming. But it was predictable. I predicted it kind of was going to be very underwhelming. I didn't think it was going to be very exciting. There wasn't that star power. I don't know what happened to JSN during the game, but like he came out, like started the game out almost. Like he kept going to the 10. It was very unclear what had happened. Looked like multiple things kept happening. And he was the only like Pro Bowl player that people were going to like watch and just, expecting big numbers from. And it didn't happen. So I thought it was very underwhelming.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of went in with higher expectations, and it was one of those things where, we all do our little DraftKings FanDuel things, and I'm doing touchdown here, touchdown there. He's going to have this yardage. He's going to have that. And it was just like exact opposite. We're going to kick a bunch of field goals. I'll tell you what, I feel bad for the left tackle and for the Patriots. I mean, everyone's clowning
He's
on this
catching
kid.
A lot of heat.
He is. I mean, he's the 4th overall pick, but like he crumbled under pressure, and that D-line was just nasty. It kind of you look at previous Super Bowls, and it's like it just goes to show like D-lines, if you control the line of scrimmage, you're going to control the game. And that's exactly what Seattle did. And to be honest, both teams' defensive line played pretty well. The Pats played well. They were holding them to field goals. But their offense just couldn't do anything against that defense. And, from a defensive fan, which I am, I liked it, but it was just boring. And my blocks weren't hitting, and then I didn't hit any touchdowns. So it was just like disappointing. Commercials were pretty good. I can't complain about the commercials. My vote is the Freebird Budweiser commercial. That was mine. I love that one. That was pretty cool. But overall, it was just a game. I think I went upstairs and was in bed before the end of the game.
Me too.
Wasn't anything fantastic.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the end of it like in bed as well. Like, all right, and it's over. Like before I was ready to turn my phone off and just go. I thought the commercials were pretty good as well. I like the one that Randy kind of called out in the chats, the one where with Jason and Kylie about meh. I thought some of those, there was a couple renditions of it, but the extended one I thought was pretty good.
Agreed.
I did like that. As an unbiased third party, I would say I enjoyed it. I know you liked it. You saw a
You're
damn
an Eagles fan.
bird and you lost your mind. I mean, if you get that excited about seeing a bird, I can help you out with that every freaking day. I'll send you a picture.
Listen, stop. We don't need.
It's right here between my pointer finger and my ring finger. I'll show it to you every day.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that.
I thought it was very predictable to start with. Everybody kind of thought that Seattle was somewhat better. The lines showed that. Everything showed, I would say, very little surprises. The defense, again, for both teams is good. Seattle, I was just listening to some stats and different things. They we talk about star power, and they're like Tennessee a couple of years ago when Tennessee was just incredible and they had no one. But like you think about a weakness that Seattle has. Like they've got their quarterback locked in for another 2 years. They've got great receivers. They got great running backs. They got great young talent on that defense. Like they have the 6th most salary cap room in the NFL. It's hard not to think that team is going to be incredible next year if they can keep Darnold and keep going and keep training Darnold. Darnold is, good God, has got to be the comeback player of the year, the darling. But again, he was great last year too. How he's got out of Minnesota is unreal. But, in the end of it, Drake May had the easiest schedule this year. Basically had a cakewalk through the playoffs. Houston was really the only legitimate opponent they had, and they couldn't get anything going offensively. The Houston couldn't. I don't know. I was not. It was probably one of the most boring NFL games I ever seen. The only excitement came in the fourth quarter when they went down and scored 3 and out, got the ball back, and we're driving. You're like, it's going to happen. Boop, pick 6. Okay, never mind. It's not going to happen. I mean, for about 3 minutes, that game was exciting. Besides that, that was the most boring football game I've watched in a long time. 4 minutes left. I had turned it off, and it was over well before that. Probably should have turned it off with 10 minutes left.
I know that defense wins championships, and defense played the most major part in the result here. Mm-hmm. I do find it interesting, a little disturbing as a Drake May fan, the amount of times that he was sacked and the amount of times that he turned the ball over in these playoffs. It's kind of a miracle that they got there. If you look at, but in the same regards, but opposite, the Seahawks didn't have a single turnover in the playoffs either, which is also like an interesting stat. And if we're going to have a bonehead of, like the Darwin Award winner for anybody, I would say in that game, do you know what player I'm going to say, Greg?
I don't know. It could be a couple.
Stefon Diggs. The rest of them were trying. Stefon Diggs was just Stefon Diggs. With 2 minutes left, down by 22, gets a first down and spins the ball.
Yeah.
And walks away. Like the most Stefon Diggs thing I've ever seen in my life. I think New England is actually already getting a little tired of him before he can get tired of them. I know that the Wags are all tired of Cardi B being around, everything that she represents.
Are they tired of Cardi yet?
But what I hear is if you look in the mirror, Stefon Diggs look in the mirror, do you know what he sees? He doesn't see Stefon Diggs. He sees AJ frickin' Brown. And reports are that if AJ Brown becomes available somehow through trade, the first person to call is going to be the frickin' Patriots. And
you gonna do a 1-for-1?
No.
I don't know about that. It's either that or I would love to see him. I would set up a GoFundMe page for like psych pills for Drake May at that point if they both were on there. It'd be like that Spider-Man meme where they're both looking at each other. Oh my God, it'd be awful. Awful.
It's not going to happen, and I'll tell you what is the only, and this is my theory, the only thing that takes AJ out of Philly would be Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, or the tight end from Oregon. Those are the only 3 players that take.
I got a fourth one
AJ
for
Brown
you that could take AJ Brown out of Philly. AJ Brown.
No,
take
I mean,
himself out of Philly in a heartbeat.
The amount of money that we would lose to the cap hit is ridiculous. It's like it just doesn't make sense.
You're giving him too much credit. Like, you remember how Keyshawn Johnson got Keyshawned? Like, he'd be the first person since Keyshawn to be like deactivated. Like, you literally get deactivated. Who knows? Maybe all this stuff that he keeps racking up small little things in his personal life. And eventually, Roger Goodell's going to be like, all right, I've suspended or put people on the exempt list for a whole lot less.
He's excited about the changes that are coming into Philly.
If you guys wanted A.J. Brown to be on good behavior, you shouldn't have brought in some rookie play caller that's never done it before. That's going to be, I mean, come on, like, that's just a train wreck waiting to happen.
Listen, we'll talk about that in the upcoming months, I'm sure, but it is going to be very interesting to see how everything plays out and how we are literally changing our whole entire offense to more of a West Coast theme, under the tutelage of those younger guys. It's going to be interesting, and I'm very sad that we are losing Stout. Very sad. I like him. I think he's one of the best defensive or offensive line coaches that ever lived. But Trey will get on. Trey's a X and O's guy, and he knows about O linemen. And Trey will tell you, there's just two different philosophies. There's Stout, the way he is teaching the techniques, and then this new offensive system is like all West Coast zone scheme blocking that is like reminiscent of the old 49ers, the old Broncos, where it's like angled blocks. It's totally different, and Stout didn't want to be around for that. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that plays. I think there was a little disrespect going on with that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think Nick is fighting for his job there in Philly.
Yeah.
And, he's just at this point like, all right, we're going to bring in this fresh crew. And, we kept two coaches is all we have left on the offensive side that have been there. And one of them is our receivers coach, who honestly hasn't developed a receiver since he's been there. So
now, some of that is because of success, though. I mean, you had coaches move on because they got moved up to better positions elsewhere and moved up the chain. So it's not like they all were gone because they were crappy coaches. You have had some good coaches.
I agree 100%, but it's just going to be, our offense is going to be a very boring bootleg running offense, mixing the tight ends over the middle and catch a receiver here or there. And does that play into AJ's game? I don't think so.
Very happy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how this is going to play out. But it's going to be interesting to see. Going back to that, I heard Jim Schwartz is like, oh, I'm going to take a year off. Like, part of me is like wondering if that falls into Vic Fangio wanting to come back for one more year, because he's gone after next year. We know that. So, like, is Schwartz going to come back and play BRD coordinator? There's just a lot of questions. Jalen Hurts is getting ready to start his last year under contract for guaranteed money. So he has 2 or 3 years left on his contract, but next year he's only guaranteed that money. So he's going to be wanting a deal, along with all of the Georgia Bulldogs. They're going to want deals. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason. It's going to be crazy, to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous.
I have 2 questions regarding next year. One, since you were talking about the scheme, does that continue to include Jalen Hurts not moving as much as he did 2 years ago? We're going to put this past year, where it belongs in the past. But 2 years ago, he was moving around a good bit.
I think Jalen Hurts needs to run to be an effective quarterback, and to be a top 10 quarterback, Jalen Hurts needs to run. I think if Jalen Hurts is in the pocket, that is, I don't want to say his weak side, but he is not quick enough to read the coverages and to go through the progressions. I think out on a bootleg, he is dangerous. And when I say dangerous, top 5 to top 10 quarterback in the league. I just honestly think that. If he is in shotgun and just reading the defense, coming to the line with 4 seconds left on the play clock, I don't think that that's his strong suit. That's just my personal opinion.
So the other thing is, who are you going to have on your offensive line next year? Looks like retirements are looks like Oprah's handing out retirements to everybody out there.
I
didn't see this yet. Who's retiring?
It could be Lane and Landon Dickerson. So both could be retiring. I mean, there's rumors that 3 of them could be retiring. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. And if they do retire, I wish them the best. They're beat up. They played injured all year. Well, for the most part.
But back to the first question, if you have that offense,
major trouble.
You get some retirements, and Jalen still isn't going to move around. Is going to be a pocket passer. Now he's a pocket passer that's not a dual threat, and he just dropped about half a second of time that he has every single snap. If that happens,
I'm not saying our off season is going to be pretty. It's going to be interesting, to say at least. We have 1 tight end under contract for next year, and that's our 4th string tight end. Dallas Goedert, Calcavecca, they're all free agents next year. So it's like we are going to be looking at tight end. We could be looking at O-line. We have to pay our defense. We're one of the highest paid offenses in the league, yet we're statistically one of the worst offenses because of third down conversions. So we need to start spending more money on the other side of the ball, or people are going to walk. Dallas is salivating right now with the fact that Nakobe Dean could be free and walk to Dallas. Their new defensive coordinator loves Nakobe Dean. He loves Reed Blankenship. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least 2 Eagles, former Eagles on that Dallas defense next year. Maybe more than 2.
Well,
so
every team has
that sounds really terrible.
I know it does.
How are you going to howie this one up?
I mean, besides Washington, every team's got their issues right now this year with re-signings and all of that. I mean, Dallas is one of the worst salary cap positions in the league. Not the worst, but bottom 5. We've got players that obviously we're trying to figure out how to pay. I really think that this whole re-signing of, or not re-signing, the whole franchising of Pickens is stupid. I think you pick one of those receivers and get rid of the other one, trade him or whatever, and maybe that's what they're going to do anyway. I who knows? But you're talking about as I'm listening to, a lot of different things from a lot of different teams. There's a lot of teams worried about who they're going to lose and salary issues and whatever. I mean, besides Washington, who's got like 72 or 96 million free dollars this year, there's a lot of teams in salary cap trouble. And, you guys, but, look at other talented, studded teams like, even Baltimore and Pittsburgh's got its own issues. There's going to be issues to be fixed. And so, I think what was interesting.
Well, Pittsburgh's issue is they're bringing back Aaron Rodgers.
I don't disagree. I think what's interesting, Greg, is you're talking about your offense for next year. But you and I and all of us know, next year, depending on the players that you get or don't get, can really change the face of an offense. And all the stuff that they're talking about doing may or may not happen based on the talents that they keep or get in the offseason and how they mesh together. So, you got a coach who's saying he's going to go towards a West Coast offense or whatever. But again, what happens if you get I'm throwing it out there as frivolous, but like a George Pickens or somebody like that on your squad, it totally changes the dynamic of it. And
AJ Brown.
Well, I will say this: when you were saying who it's going to take to get rid of AJ Brown, I'm sorry, I don't think there's a team out there that's going to give a Mason Crosby quality player for an A.J. Brown right now. I mean,
Good
years
Lord.
ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mason Crosby, he was a good kicker. I do remember him on Green Bay. He was definitely
Sorry,
good.
Max Crosby. But you look at even a few years ago when Dallas got rid of Dez Bryant, there was no one even picked him up in free agency.
A few years ago. That's a long time ago.
Go back to Chad Ochocinco when he got cut, or some of these other guys that are great receivers. T.O. at the end wanted to be picked up. No one even touched him. Receivers are such a dime a dozen. He still wants to. Receivers are a dime a dozen. And to your point, AJ probably will be in Philadelphia, because if Eagles' hopes are for a Max Crosby or the guy from Cleveland, I can't remember his name right now, it's not going to happen. Those players are hard to come by. Those players are generational talent. AJ Brown's just not. He's, in my opinion, last year he was.
Why are you wasting your time with George Pickens? And if you franchise him and it costs you
I just told you I don't think it was a good idea.
I know, but they're still doing. But what you're going to do is two things. One, you're going to piss away. I mean, just like Redskins did with Kirk Cousins. We were giving him $30-some million, each of 2 years, and then he signed somewhere else. George Pickens is going to want top 10 number one receiver money, and you're going to piss him off by doing, But
believe me, if I could
franchise tags.
If I could stick my head inside Jerry Jones's body, we would not happen. But unfortunately, I can't.
I really saw you saying something different there for a second.
I did not say anything different. I'm just saying I totally don't think it's a good idea to franchise him. I think that you build for the future. Franchising to me is, hey, we think we got the Super Bowl this coming year. We want one good player for 1 year. I think it's totally dumb. Hopefully he's smarter than me.
Super Bowl logo. The logo and the
franchise tag is just like putting your player into a cage where it's for 1 year. That's all it is they don't have a choice but to agree. But you either play and get paid, or you don't play. It's.
I gotta back up on something you're saying there, Randy. Are you saying that you got no chance at Super Bowl next year?
I don't want to say.
You said it's okay only if you're
I'm trying to talk. Right, I'm trying to answer your question. Quit interrupting me. I'm trying to answer. Stop interrupting me. I am saying I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's likely. And to me, a franchise tag should be used if you're saying I need this year out of this player. Is going to piss him off, but I need him that bad for 1 year. I'll pay him top 5 player in that position's price for this year, because with this piece, we have everything it takes. Do I think that's Dallas? There's a lot of other pieces missing right now, mainly on defense. And does it hurt to lose George Pickens? Absolutely. But do I think that we should be wasting it on where we have a lot of other needs right now? No, I don't. So
you don't look at the new Super Bowl logo and you don't think it screams Dallas blue in there?
Do you understand? Every Super Bowl logo screams
Detroit
Dallas
Lions blue. Detroit Lions blue.
Okay, Bears orange.
Detroit blue. That could be Bears orange. Could be Denver's orange too.
Bears.
What up, everybody? The Beard is here. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, the law offices of William P. Harrington. Credit card litigation, Chapter 7 bankruptcy, estate planning, estate administration, guardianships, they do it all. As a member, listener, follower, supporter of our network, they are offering you a 15% discount on these services. So if you are in the Pennsylvania or New Jersey area, schedule your free consultation today.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
Interesting.
We'll see. I'd love to eat my words. I would love to eat my words.
You just like to eat. I don't think you really care what it is. I mean, shoot, you gnawing on raw okra like it's a pixie stick or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I want to give out 2 stats here, or 2 little little things here back from the Super Bowl. It's more specifically about Seattle for the most part. One, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here that knows that Mike McDonald is actually a member of the same fraternity Mike and I are in, graduated from Georgia
I knew
in
that.
2010.
Saw it today.
2010. Okay, well, better than anything you got. All you got is George Pickens, all right? On a really bad contract and no hope for a Super Bowl next year. The other is it's unbelievable what Geno Smith can do to a team. So he's the quarterback of the Seahawks last year, and Pete Carroll is the coach. He gets Pete Carroll fired because he's absolute hot garbage. Pete Carroll goes to the Raiders, picks up Geno Smith. It doesn't take 1 year before he gets Pete Carroll fired again, and they get the #1 pick, only to look behind him and watch his former team immediately win the Super Bowl without him.
It's true.
I mean, that has got to be the most like demoralizing thing I've ever seen. Like,
it's almost like getting drafted by a particular team, spending your whole career there, only to leave to go to Seattle, play D-line, and win a Super Bowl your first year in Seattle. Like, he left Dallas because he knew he wasn't going to win.
Jerry can draft. Jerry can draft.
And openly said that they weren't going to win.
Hey, no one says Jerry can win, but Jerry definitely can draft. That's the one good thing about the guy.
Hey, you win the award for drafting. And
thank you. There should be an award for good drafting.
You know what that is? That literally is the quintessential April championship. If you're good at drafting, that is an April championship.
Hey, we got a number of them.
You get a participation trophy.
No. It's a championship. 7 rounds, and we won them all.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason. I can't wait. I know are we going to try to get together after the draft, around the draft?
Yeah, I would say after the draft would be a good idea. I think there's going to be every year, I think here going forward, like the new thing is so many huge names are going to keep moving and moving. Obviously it's all based on money, but the fact of the contracts and the fact that it's not like baseball where it's all like guaranteed money. I mean, the second that guaranteed money is out the door and what it looks like next year, and even the stuff like with Kirk Cousins, like they've restructured it to let him off the hook, like he's getting paid, like he might as well be franchise tag for next year automatically. But it would cost him like $68 million if they kept him past this month. Yeah. So I mean, it's a win-win. So it's going to be, to me, it looks like the floodgates are going to be open. It's almost like the transfer portal in college, except actually I think it's going to be almost exactly like that. I think when the transfer portal started, you're like, oh, there's a couple people in it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's 19,000 kids in the transfer portal. You're going to have come like training camps or like right after the draft, I think you're going to have teams that can't even field a team at that point, and you're literally going to be piecing it together before training camps.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's going to be dicier and dicier for all teams. I don't think anybody's excluded. Nobody's going to get this right. You can't even Howie this up.
Yeah, it's going to be. That's funny. It's funny you say that. I heard Shefty say something yesterday on Pat McAfee that actually just made me really excited. So one of the rule changes that a team in the NFL is looking to implement is right now you can only trade draft picks up to 3 years, but there's a team looking to go up to 5, maybe past 5 years.
There's a team looking to try to get Joe Burrow is what the...
Well, could be, but honestly, I thought about it. I was like, that is genius. I hate how the NBA does it because it's like you can do like a 2029 draft pick now.
Oh no, we're well into the 30s now. Like for right now, okay. you can get well into the 30s right now.
So I'm thinking, like, how cool would that be if you're able to do 5 years worth of draft picks? I know to me, it makes the better managed teams stay better, and it makes the worst teams stay worse because the Jets are going to be able to mortgage 5 years of draft picks to try to go get that quarterback to only miss on them.
Or Cleveland.
Yeah,
and
or
I tell
Cleveland,
you what,
the same thing.
I would draft and I would take that that offer from the Jets in a heartbeat because guess what? They're still the Jets, just like the Browns. They're still the Browns. Those first-round picks are going to be amazing.
The rumors I was seeing was that it's the Vikings that's trying to propose this extension to 5 because they want to go after Joe Burrow. They think he could be the missing piece there.
Well,
I mean, Justin Jefferson said, like, Jefferson was
pretty much done with him, I think.
Yeah.
If they can get out of
it. That's interesting. I
think that would be interesting if that happens.
I need to publicly apologize, and I think everybody on here may have to do the same. Sam Darnold may not be as bad as I thought he was. And I'm just saying that I am sorry for bashing him. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Probably not a top 10 quarterback. However, if he plays error-free and doesn't turn the ball over 5 times, he can be an effective quarterback.
Now, the highlight of this episode has to be Clashing Conferences NFC East apologizes for bashing better than expected New York quarterback. That would be great right now.
Yeah, he's not a New York quarterback, though.
I don't think.
No, I'm just saying there was another New York quarter. Yeah, he was a Jet.
I was with you.
Did anyone follow my thought process on that?
Yeah, I did, but that's
pretty good.
That's fake news, Randy. Fake news. It's clickbait.
I thought it was
what that is.
But I don't think we really have to apologize. I think we need an explanation from Sam Darnold. Like, you've been in the league since 2018. What took so long? He was on the same, and the year before was like Baker Mayfield. I guess he was drafted the year before, or who is in the same class?
He was in the same class with.
This has been my argument about so many things on so many of these shows that we've done. These guys are all incredibly good at what they do. Even like the backups and the bench players, and they are so supremely talented compared to anybody else in the world. Just because they're not starting doesn't mean they're not good. So any one of these professional athletes can get in and have a good stretch of a couple of games. I think any one of them, given the right circumstances and the right timing, right players around them, could have a couple good games. But it doesn't make you, Sam Darnold did it for a couple games. He's got to do it for a couple years to prove it to me.
He did it for 2. I would say that's why I'm apologizing. He did it with Minnesota,
but then he fell
did
apart.
It with Seattle.
He did not have a good second half this year. He had a good, decent Super Bowl, decent playoffs, but he did not have a good second half of the season.
Decent playoffs. He didn't turn the ball over 14 one time.
He did have a career game in the semis. He had a career game in the semis, though. That one was ridiculous.
Yeah, Mike said good playoffs and good, good playoff run.
To your point, I remember watching an interview when New England played the Broncos and Stillman or whatever that quarterback's name is was going. Stidham was arguing the fact that he is as good as any starter in the NFL. He is a good talent. He should be a starter.
No.
Listen, I hear you, but. I mean, put him on look how Geno Smith looked playing for the Seahawks. Put him on the Seahawks. What does that look like? Well, there's a great coach. There's a great team. They got I don't know. I'm kind of with Mike where you started with on this one. Like, in the end of it, Sam Darnold was in a bunch of horrible situations year after year, goes to Minnesota to a half-decent situation and really has a game and a half that's bad in Minnesota, and they wash him to the shore. It goes to, I don't know, I just feel like there's much more than quarterback play that comes into it. It's scheme, it's coaching.
Then let me ask you this. On this argument, the counter-argument would be, is Josh Allen in a bad situation?
No. Okay.
I mean, again,
then
how did he not? How did he not? You would say yes with the top offensive line in the league and the best top running back in the league,
and top running back in the league.
Quarterback, you need people to throw to, and you can't throw to your offensive line and your running back. That's
exactly my point.
Fair. Okay. What about Lamar Jackson?
Again, Lamar Jackson is again in a pretty good situation. They got a heck of an offensive line. one heck of a run game, and they got some decent receivers. I do think their tight ends are phenomenal.
So does that mean, so if based on this, and I'm not disagreeing with it, does that mean we need to look out to see what happens with Malik Willis? Because it looks like people are crowning him as that next, like breakout one. I know he hadn't been in the league as long as it took Mayfield and Darnold, but it looks like he's going to be a starter somewhere. He's getting attention as
he could get a bag this year. Absolutely.
I think there's 32 teams in the NFL right now. Every one of them starts the year with anticipation of being great. And inevitably, over half of those teams are going to be disappointed. And everybody wants to find a fall guy.
Except for the Cowboys, because apparently you don't think you're going to be great this year.
Okay. Every single team that has a terrible year says, oh, man, it must be my quarterback. Oh, man, it must be my coach. Oh, man, look at all the coaching changes. It must be. Look at all the offensive coordinator changes. Where you look at, I got to give a lot of respect to Andy Reid and the Chiefs when they drafted Patrick Mahomes, let him sit for a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it was. I think it was 2 years. Let him sit for 2 years, develop. He came in, he was a stud, and no one even really put 2 and 2 together that this guy's on the bench. But Andy Reid knew the whole time what was coming, why he had all that patience. And now you look back, it's like, wow, they were geniuses. In the NFL, we look for instant gratification, instant wins every time. It's like, if it's not there, we got to pick it apart. When you got players like Caleb Williams, who were drafted last year. If you go off of last year, you would have probably cut his ass. Sorry, Beep. But here you are looking at it today. And Beep. Here you are looking at it today. And it's like, wow, I heard somebody say he was by far the top quarterback in that draft class, with Jaden Daniels being number 2. You can't look at it from a very small window. The Jets, Cleveland have been unbelievably impatient with their quarterbacks. Who drafted the Tampa Bay quarterback? I can't even remember his name right now.
Cleveland?
Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield. I would never say that Baker Mayfield's incredible, but boy, oh boy, do they look stupid keeping him for a year and a half and getting rid of him.
Boy, oh
boy.
I think what Sam Darnold did this year is opening the eyes of the GMs to realize I don't have to have a top 5 paid quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I can do it with defense and with great position players and a quarterback that can just lead me to a title, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts.
Well, I was going to say the Browns. I mean, the Browns, all you need is somebody who's competent, and I think you got a shot. Your defense you have the best defense.
They got 0 playmakers.
Well, I was going to say
they got a good rookie running
walking.
back. They got a good rookie running back.
Yeah, and Joker's out. He announced it today.
And I really hope he comes to Washington.
Jerry Jeudy, wasn't he their number 1 wideout this year or something like that?
Yeah, but again, that wasn't
on paper. Yeah, I think so, but
like complete. I don't know. Again, I think they got a lot of holes.
They do, and if they're going to keep Shador, which it sounds like they could,
your typical Philadelphia frickin' butt says, AKA Jalen Hurts. Okay, well, I will say, there was a big difference between Sam Darnold's play and Jalen Hurts' play. Jalen Hurts last year, yes. Sam Darnold, no. Again, Jalen can have years where he doesn't turn out all over the ball. Do you remember a couple of years ago I was calling him the pick machine? He was unbelievable at throwing. He was throwing.
Remember how Dak has incredible seasons and then can't get to the playoffs? Yeah, I remember that too.
We're talking about players that can carry a team here, and then you switch it to Dak Prescott. Makes me think you're an inside fan.
No, I'm not. Nowhere close to being a fan of this cockroaches.
You're coming around.
No,
next year.
No, thank you. And that's the dumb shit.
I was gonna say one more thing. Speaking of next year, there's only one team here that we haven't heard from. Paul, man, what's going on in Washington? You got any hope for next year? Or you just want to get through this show without talking about it?
Oh no, I'm very optimistic for next year. I mean, still cautiously optimistic because you got somebody that outside of, having one of those bubbles that you kind of roll around in, like down the hill, besides wearing one of those, he's a fall risk. Like he literally needs to have one of those little yellow wristbands you get at the hospital that says he's a fall risk. Outside of that, I'm not worried about the team or him. I think I'm optimistic that they're going to fill some holes that they need. We need offensive line. You need defensive and edge. With our pick, I'm very optimistic about our pick. Either looking at a great safety, Caleb Downs from Ohio State, or Reuben Bain from Miami, or that guy, the edge guy from Texas Tech, who was like the self-proclaimed Heisman Trophy winner. Any of those
one
three,
or two
any
of
of
those
three
guys should fall in that range.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to be happy with the draft. I don't anticipate them doing anything stupid with the pick, like sending it off for something weird or like some veteran. I'm looking for some pickups. Like, we're going to need probably like at least one, maybe two tight ends. The only thing I'm worried about is they keep putting Brandon Ayuk on our radar. And I think I wouldn't say we found lightning in a bottle
With
in
Debo again?
but he hasn't, he hasn't turned into like the diva Debo Samuel yet. So I don't want to encourage that by Brandon Ayuk, who isn't too much different. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. Do I like that they're looking at somebody that has the skill and as good of a player as Brandon Ayuk? I do. So what I'm excited about the most is that, for the first time, like last year and like maybe a little bit the year before, ever since the change in ownership, there's been players that want to go here, like signing free agents. Like people will be like, yes, I will actually pull up to your office and I will entertain signing with your franchise. Like that's a new thing for us. So I'm excited about what we could be getting. That hasn't happened. I haven't seen,
Good.
No, I don't want
Finish
him though. No, I want no. You can keep the doors.
I think what you're saying
him,
is
though.
you don't need your own AJ Brown.
No, I don't. We got a lot of. I don't need anything volatile to mess up the locker room. I think the locker room is doing great. I don't want anything that could tip the scales, and I think Debo would have been one that could have and hasn't yet. So let's not encourage it and put another like another 100-year-old stick of dynamite in there and just hope it doesn't explode.
Speaking of 100-year-olds, you guys did win something this year, despite your record. You guys do have statistically the oldest team in the NFL. So congratulations. Really? And that Ayuk thing actually fits because your average age of player on your team is like damn near 28, 29. So that's perfect for you guys. He's 27, 28, 29.
Absolutely. Looks a lot like you there, Paul.
I wish he looked.
Gotta get younger, buddy. 29. You gotta get younger.
No, I'm saying the old team.
You gotta get younger, Washington.
Hey, I'm fine with that as well.
All right. Shit.
Yeah, I think so. You guys got any last words before we get out of here for our last episode of the year?
Thank you all for listening. Thanks to the sponsors, and have a great offseason. We'll pick back up after the draft. Guys, what else you got?
Yeah, looking forward to next year already.
I wish we had
so long
wish
way.
We had somebody to talk some stump shit with about the Giants with, but whatever. I guess you just can't pull in good talent.
There's that dumb shit. It was a great year, you guys. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you three. Appreciate Steve producing this thing throughout the year and taking care of us, making everything clean and look good. Just want to remind everybody as we get out of here, not only like and subscribe, but the Bears own this division this year. 4-0, baby. Let's go. See you in 2026.